I'm gonna go down some more. Pull another precept real quick. It's in the book of Job, chapter 36, verse 32. It says, he fills his hands with lightning and commands it to strike its mark. And that lightning gonna strike its mark, man. It's been striking the fuck out of California.
When you see these upper level wind bands, and you've got high wind warnings coming out from the south, and it's not going to get better because, as one of the things I do is hurricane videos, and this is exactly what we're dealing with here. Let me back this image out. Now, what you're looking at, guys, again, Northern California, the fires here, and smoke is going. Just look at this, guys, all the way up and through this map here. Unbelievable. But this is kind of the remnants of what was Genevieve, hurricane off the coast. And this thing is still trying to turn and get its act together, but what it's going to...
And see, hey, the most I hitting this, he hitting Babylon from all corners, man. And they gonna finish it off. This is the book of Job, chapter 37, verse 3. And say, hey, before I read this right here, man, if you've been paying attention to the scriptures and actually ready to read, and be diligent, and then you pay attention to the news and compare and contrast, line stuff up, man, it should make you laugh. It should bring some joy to you, because you know that the Most High making good on His word. Like the scripture says, He's not a man that He should lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. So it might seem like it's taking a little minute, taking a little time, whatever. Wait, but it's coming to pass now, man. You can see it clear as day. Let me go down some more. Let's see what other precept I want to pull real quick. There's a gang on in the book of Job. It just goes into who's controlling all this stuff. It's in the book of Job. Oh, I definitely want to get this because it's showing that imagery with the clouds forming and spinning around and that, because the patterns of the currents and stuff travel in a circuit, which for something to move in a circuit, it got to be on something round. But anyway, I ain't gonna get too much in that. But that's just for the flat earth people. That's in the book of Job, chapter 37, verse 12. It says, they swirl about, turning round and round at his direction, accomplishing all that he commands over the face of all the earth. And this is what you see. Listen, hold on, let me back this up. Listen to what he said.
Came off the coast. And this thing is still trying to turn and get its act together, but what it's going to do is continue to throw heavy wind your way.
And why is doing that? Hold on. Why is doing all that, man? Accomplishing all that he commands over the face of all the earth. So he commanded this wind to come right after all this lightning strike and light all this shit on fire and cause that smoke. And he commanded the wind to come right behind it, man. Hey, man, call all y'all about your shot. Cause the shit is going out there in California. And I had to tell a few people, they talking about moving out there. And you gonna go out there in the fire? You're a dumbass. You go out there. It don't even make no sense. People gonna be thinking, and they don't even really watch the news. That's why it's up to certain men to edify and alert people on what's really going on. And then if they don't take heed, then that's on them. But they heard it. They can't say, oh, ain't nobody warn me. Ain't nobody tell me what's going on. But that's why we have to watch, pay attention to the news, see what's going on, alert people, edify them, share scriptures with them, you know, if they ask questions or whatever, help them gain some understanding if it's meant for them to gain it. And then, hey, they don't take heed, blood off your hands. Now I'm gonna go to a few more other videos I want to go into. Meanwhile, while all this stuff going on, in the storm season going on, you got Esau down there playing with viruses and shit, putting stuff in the mosquitoes. If you're familiar with stuff that happened down in Florida, it was a time when they actually made the Zika virus, which was funded by this devil, Bill Gates, and Hillary, and a few of them other damn devils. And basically, it did what it really wanted them to do, but they were talking about the mosquitoes, but it was a population control type thing. Because they were saying that, and the guy, he gonna say it in this video, they're basically saying that these mosquitoes get pregnant, and then, they actually die, so that babies can't be born, or the babies can't be born, some type of scenario like that. And what was happening was, either men was getting bit or women was getting bit, and whenever that virus was in their bloodstream and the baby was born, it would be born in the baby, and the baby come out deformed, or the baby come out dead, and all type of other little ailments will be upon this child. So Esau doing this bullshit and outsmart nature, and this just goes to show who's ruling the earth right now. Because you have our people, they want to play games and be like, oh, Esau, not the white man, or we don't know who Edomites is, and we don't know who the Amalekites are, and all this other stuff. No, these are people that's ruling over the earth right now. These are people that control the banks, that control the aeronautics of things with planes flying, spraying chemtrails and shit, and control the water stations and all this stuff that's supposed to clear and purify the water. These are people that run this stuff, that run the oil fields. And as it goes into it right in the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24, says, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, and not aware. And who is it? Who the hell is doing shit like this? Ain't no niggas doing no junk like this. That's Esau red ass.
It's very personal for me, for a reason that I'm going to explain to you in just a little bit. Hold on. First, the facts, right? The story is about a plan in Florida, my home state, by the way, to release 750 million mosquitoes that have been modified genetically into the air in the Florida Keys and other parts of South Florida. So the idea is to try and get the good mosquitoes to take over the mosquito population by essentially pushing out or pushing down the bad mosquitoes, the ones that can give you Zika, dengue, and dengue fever, and malaria. The mosquitoes have been altered so that the females, the ones that bite, die before they reach maturity and start biting you and me and possibly getting us really sick. Fascinating, right? Let's get more from RT's John Huddy in Miami.
It's enough to make your skin crawl. The Florida Keys Mosquito Control District approved a plan to release 750 million, quote, non-biting male genetically.
You see how people are so simple, they don't really pay attention to stuff like this. Like the scripture said, how long you simple ones will you love simplicity. You put all this information, you should be able to research and look this up and see like these different little places like this. CDC, this place down in Florida. They actually got diseases that they sit in the laboratory and play with and then put out in the population and be like, oh, we got to bring forth a vaccine. Everybody got to go take this vaccine now. And then the CDC lying about numbers and shit. That just came out recently. Them lying about the numbers, talking about this many millions of people died from COVID, when they said 80% or higher of the numbers were actually false. And it really wasn't what they said. And they apologized for it. That's all they say, oh, we apologize. Meanwhile, you got people bugging out, acting crazy, because they see you ain't got no mask. Because you can see through this bullshit that they doing. Like, just maybe 2 years ago, they came out with the superbug, and people was getting the flu or whatever, and people was dropping from that. The next thing you know, you ain't hear from it no more. And that was just them trying to perfect what they wanted to perfect. And they still working on stuff. This is just part of the engineering that they're doing right here. 750 million genetically engineered mosquitoes. And this them trying to play the Most High. The Most High got a trick for them, man. That's why in the scripture it says Yahawah will punish the wicked. And hey, the wicked is outlined in the scriptures. When people be like, oh, this book was written by the white man. No, the fuck it wasn't, because it talk about them being punished for all the stuff that they're doing. Them being condemned. And for the people to be like, oh, how you read a book that your slave owners gave to your ancestors and all that. They ain't let them fucking read the book. They ain't let them, and if they got caught reading, they cut their damn hands off or something like that. But see, now we're in a time frame where you got men that actually understand this. And back then, people was waking up too, but now it's just on a higher level. You got men waking up, being able to break down these scriptures, the whole roll, not just the pieces that seem pleasing to them. Being able to break down the whole roll and edify people in the correct manner and point out who is who. And only the wicked will release 750 million genetically engineered mosquitoes in the damn population.
Modified mosquitoes over a 2-year period in the Florida Keys starting in early 2021. The Environmental Protection Agency approved the pilot project back in May to test if a genetically modified mosquito is a better alternative to spraying insecticides at a cost of nearly $1 million a year to control the type of mosquito that carries deadly viruses in the Keys, including Zika, dengue, and yellow fever. A U.S.-owned British-based company called Oxitec created the modified mosquito named OX5034 and describes its project as friendly mosquito technology, explaining that it's...
Only the wicked do that. Let me go to this real quick. I'm going to pull a few more precepts. Only Esau do stuff like this, man. And the Most High hate Esau. The only reason why he let them rule is just to teach us a lesson. That's all. This is basically a big learning experience for us of what not to do and how not to rule. That's all this is. So we'll know, like, okay, we ain't supposed to do that. This is what we're supposed to do. This is what we're supposed to be doing from the jump. Now, it's in the book of Malachi, chapter 1. In verse 4, it says, whereas Edom, talking about the so-called white man, it says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build a desolate places. What you see going on around the earth right now, when something get destroyed or wiped out or something, they want to go rebuild shit up. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people whom the Lord Yahawah have indignation forever. Hey, he don't change. The scripture say, same yesterday, same today. He ain't change up, man, just because they ruling right now. He put them in power. He's, like the scripture say, he set up kings, and he bring them down. And he ain't just finna just let them rule forever like that. And people think, oh, he gonna be in 2050, 2060 or whatever. Hell nah, Esau ain't ruling that much longer. That shit coming down.
Mosquito has been altered to produce female offspring that die in the larval stage before hatching and growing large enough to bite and spread disease. Oxitec says its program has been successful in places including Brazil, Panama, and the Cayman Islands, but the project is not without contention. Various environmental groups, community members, and national organizations warn the plan could backfire, producing a more resilient...
And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to be backfired. They wanted to backfire, I should say, not be backfired. They wanted to backfire so people can get sick, and they can come with this psyop shit, create a problem, come with the solution. Same rhetoric Esau been using. This ain't nothing new. Same shit.
Hybrid mosquito instead. J.D. Hansen of the Center for Food Safety said in a statement, quote, with all the urgent crises facing our nation,